Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Drew and you're once again watching Drew the Theme Park Dude. Today's video I'll be deciding which Busch Gardens theme park is better. Busch Gardens Tampa in Florida or Busch Gardens Williamsburg in Virginia. Before I begin, it would mean a lot to hit the subscribe button for future theme park content and like the video. Now let's get to the theme park comparison. In this video I'll be rating each park based on theming, ride operations, rides and attractions offered, overall quality of the park, and since they are Busch Gardens parks, I will be comparing the different animals you can find at each park. Busch Gardens Tampa is themed after Africa, while Busch Gardens Williamsburg is themed after Europe. Both are owned by SeaWorld Entertainment and operate year-round. Both parks are mainly known for their unique collection of world-class roller coasters such as Iron Gwazi and Shikra at Busch Gardens Tampa and Pantheon and Verballen at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. First category will be theming. As I mentioned earlier, both parks are themed after different continents, and the lands within the park relate to various countries. As for Busch Gardens Tampa, theming is definitely not their strong suit, as other than a few themed buildings and animal exhibits, the actual areas as well as the coasters themselves have little to no theming. On the other hand, though, Busch Gardens Williamsburg is breathtaking. In Williamsburg, you have entire, very well-themed areas, amazing views, entertainers, park audio, themed attractions, which I know they are struggling, especially on Pantheon, but in the older attractions, if you just look at them, especially how they're getting an indoor dart coaster attraction next year, very excited for that. Just really shows their theming level, and just overall in a more immersive experience. I know Africa doesn't have the same type of architecture design as European countries, and I know Busch Gardens Tampa still has some good themed areas. It just overall, Busch Gardens Williamsburg is just able to pull off the full package and really make it one of the most beautiful theme parks in the world. For this reason, Busch Gardens Williamsburg wins the category and receives the first point. The second category is ride operations. Both parks do suffer from poor operations, making even station waits for some coasters 20 to 30 minutes long. I've had times while waiting for Iron Gwazi, it took 7 minutes just to dispatch each train. Busch Gardens Williamsburg I will award this point to, even though their operations are not that better, as Verballen took 5 minutes for a single train to be dispatched. Ride operations are definitely something SeaWorld parks in general need to improve on, and if this was a category I'd give no points to, I would. But I mean, I'm just going to pick one, and I believe Busch Gardens Williamsburg does have the better operations, but not by much. And yeah, this is something that they need to improve on, especially with all the new coasters coming to these parks in the coming years. Busch Gardens Williamsburg leads 2-0. The third category goes to attractions offered at the parks. Busch Gardens Tampa is home to many roller coasters, including an RMC hybrid coaster, Iron Gwazi, a B&M dive coaster, Shikra, a Intamin multi-launch coaster, Cheetah Hunt, a B&M coaster, Kumba, a Mach Ride spinning coaster, Cobra's Curse, a B&M inverted coaster, Montu, and more. Iron Gwazi and Montu are both inside my top 5 coasters of all time. Busch Gardens Tampa, in my opinion, has one of the best collections of any park in the United States. Busch Gardens Williamsburg has an Intamin multi-launch coaster, Pantheon, a B&M dive coaster, Griffin, a Zier multi-launch coaster, Verballen, a GCI coaster, Invader, a B&M inverted coaster, Alpengeist, a B&M hyper coaster, Apollo's Chariot, and more. This collection of coasters is also really good, but there are several gaps in the lineup, such as another huge attraction similar to Iron Gwazi. Also, Busch Gardens Tampa just has a superior B&M invert and B&M dive coasters, making me give this point to Busch Gardens Tampa. Score is now 2-1, Busch Gardens Williamsburg leads. The fourth category is overall quality of both parks. This will include ride refurbishments, park refurbishments, renovations, park offerings, and entertainment. Both parks have great offerings and some that are poor. At both Busch Gardens parks, there are not any coasters that were quote-unquote painful rides. Some had a rattle to them, but that's normal as they get old, running nearly every day of the year. As for renovations and park offerings, Busch Gardens Tampa has a ton. They have tons of animal experiences, more coasters, and it appears more shows. Williamsburg still has great offerings as well with their rides and shows and restaurants and shops, but I believe it's not as much as Tampa, so this point will go to Tampa as well, making it a tie at 2-2 going into the final category. The final category is animals that are at the parks. Both parks have several animal encounters. At Busch Gardens Williamsburg, you can find horses, wolves, cows, and even dogs, and more European animals. Over at Busch Gardens Tampa, you have elephants, rhinos, hippos, giraffes, tigers, gorillas, cheetahs, monkeys, sloths, and so much more. Tampa for sure wins this category, making it win overall with a score of 3-2. Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, as I am trying to hit 2,000 subscribers. Let me know which of the two is your favorite, as I know I did say some controversial things in this video about the parks. I personally just prefer Busch Gardens Tampa to Williamsburg. It might be because I visit Tampa way more, but I tried to get rid of that bias going into the video. So I really love both parks, and Busch Gardens Williamsburg is an amazing park, and is a personal favorite of mine, but if I have to go for the better park overall, I have to go to Tampa just based on these categories and really just with their amazing coaster collection. Williamsburg has some great coasters too, like Pantheon, but it's just, Tampa is just, I always love the park, and I love Busch Gardens Williamsburg too, but it's just Tampa overall. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Thanks again, and have a great day, everyone. Bye.